everyone. My name is Shada Cook, and I am here with Calynn M Lawrence, who is a serial entrepreneur, 21-year-old TV host, and the founder of the Fresh Faces Project. She is the sole fire behind the Fresh Faces Project, famed Inflamed. We have both a series of thought-provoking and a little bit personal questions to ask you in an attempt to get to know a little bit more about you and your not-for-profit. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Perfect. So we're going to start off with some of the more secular-oriented questions, ones pertaining directly to the project. Then we'll get to talk a little bit more about you.
Okay.
Cool. So what exactly is the Fresh Faces Project, and how and why did you start it?
Well, the Fresh Faces Project is actually a non-for-profit campaign/movement that I started almost 4 years ago, and it offers free and discounted PR services to aspiring talents and small businesses, startup entrepreneurs. And why I started it, I think what it was, I was looking for some type of way to give back to the creative community and to unify the creative community. So even though my predominant niche is fashion, because that's where I got my start and that's where my most experience is, I like to dibble and dabble in all fields. So entertainment, beauty, fashion, the whole nine. So that's how and why I started it.
Perfect. And what have been some of its major highlights and downfalls over the past 4 years?
Well, I would say that for downfalls, it's definitely been some struggles with funding and being able to successfully raise money for the cause. So because I've had a series of different methods, obviously not all of them were successful, one of which was when I attempted to get into the cosmetic field a little bit, and I used liquid lipsticks as a fundraiser. I sold liquid lipsticks as a fundraiser. And although I was able to break even with my profits, it definitely wasn't something that gave me a return on investment. But highlights, I've been able to work with over 100, different businesses and brands. I've been able to travel, to various different states and work with just different people. So I would say that's probably the main highlight.
Perfect. And who are some of your favorite participants or partners of the Fresh Faces Project?
Definitely got to shout out Venta. Venta is my main client now. I work for the CEO, Miss B/Miss Barbara. Shout out to you. I definitely appreciate Black Fashion Week USA, Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom, who gave me my start interning, After International House, and Miss Planetary. There are so many I can name as far as partners. For participants, I would definitely have to say Maya Green. She's an awesome model and dancer. She's only 12, but she's awesome. And let me think. I know there's at least a couple more. I would definitely have to say Michaela Brown. She's a phenomenal fashion model. Then there's Naila Bradley, phenomenal dancer, and so many more.
Okay, so what are some of your future plans and goals for the Fresh Faces Project? What's coming up? What can we look forward to?
For future plans and goals, I definitely want to get in place a scholarship event. And I announced on my Facebook and my other social media actually too, that if I make certain moves within the next few months, that I'm going to be able to put together a small scholarship event where I'm going to give probably 5 teens scholarships to whatever creative program that they want. Thank you. And whatever donations I receive, I'm going to match it out of my own pocket. So I'm really hoping that we can raise as many funds as possible. Maybe not too many because I'll be broke, but I got to stick to my word now. But I'm hoping we can raise as many funds as possible because I really want to be able to give these teens some type of incentive for their creative efforts.
Absolutely. Got to get back to the youth. They're the future, right?
They are.
Those are some pretty awesome answers. I really want to thank you for the insight and that honesty. But now we're going to get a little more into the questions about you. Now, don't be shy. Not that you ever are. But we do want to give the audience some really good content. So talk to us a little bit about your books and why you chose to publish a series of memoirs. What was the thinking process behind that?
Well, you know what? I think what made me want to do that is because people see, and when I say this, people take it the wrong way. They only see my representative. What I mean by my representative, that's my business persona. This is not the real me. I look like nowhere near this on a regular basis. Sweatpants, hair tie, glasses.
I feel that.
I'm a really chill, really homebody-esque type of woman, and I just really want to give people an inside look at my real personality besides, you know, seeing me on TV or at the red carpet events or whatever. So I feel like the books were, in so many words, like a dramatization of my life told through the eyes of a fictional character.
Okay.
So they were able to see, you know, the heartbreaks that I've went through with different guys, see me, you know, go through different life experiences with my friends and the struggle behind the business, because I talk a lot about that, how I got started, how I overcame certain obstacles and things like that that you don't see just from me posting accomplishments. So I think that's, you know, was the main driving force behind it, and I hope to make it a series for the rest of my life.
I think so often people do kind of get caught up in the glitz and the glam, and you just kind of have to like bring them back to reality. Like, hey, like this is hard. This is hard work.
It is.
And I'm a person too, right? Absolutely.
I know you can relate.
Absolutely. How does it feel to be the first in history to be renominated, y'all, for a Chicago Oscar for the best PR consecutively after a win?
Well, thank you for the enthusiasm. I appreciate
Look,
that.
I have to.
It feels amazing. Thank you guys so much. And funny you should, you know, ask that question now, because I literally just got informed like 30 minutes ago that I was nominated for another Chicago Oscar for Best Creative Community Servicee. So thank you.
Be the first to congratulate you. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm so excited. Like, oh my God. Like the waterworks are coming because I just found out.
Absolutely.
I didn't have time to meditate on it.
That is a Shada Said So exclusive, you guys.
Thank you. And I feel very happy to say, you know, I've been able to have these accomplishments, but it's because of people, you know, like you or the videographer willing to help me out and contribute to the Fresh Faces project. You interviewing me, him filming it, you know, so many people partnering with me. That's what's been able to drive this thing as far as it's going. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No.
Who would you say are some of your biggest inspirations business-wise?
Business-wise, I have so many. So I'll say 4 and I'll say why.
Perfect.
Number 1, definitely Kelly Catrone. She's one of the hottest, largest, most successful fashion publicists like in history. She's the CEO and founder of People's Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
I love her attitude. She's very just upfront, straight
Very
shooter.
much so.
Yes,
Very much
she
so.
does
I'm
not
familiar with
play.
Kelly's work.
She does not play, and I love it. You know, I love how just real she is, because I wish, a part of me wishes that I could be just as real as she is, because she doesn't even wear makeup, extensions, heels, none of that. See, me, I have to do that at events. I can't let myself be that comfortable at events, but she's just amazing. Love her. Second, I would say Sophia Amoruso. She's the CEO and founder of Nasty Gal, which is one of the fastest growing e-commerce businesses in history. And she was able to take a eBay store and turn it into like a $200 million business within like 3 or 4 years. And it continued to scale, you know, rapidly since then.
I may or may not have bought a couple things from Nasty Gal.
Yes, I love her. Like, she is amazing. And I definitely have to take my hat off to her, like, amazing. Third, I would have to say Andre Leon Talley, because he is just the epitome of fashion. You know, he's just so free-spirited and just, he's done so much in fashion. Like, he hasn't stuck with one particular thing. He's not just the editor-at-large at American Vogue. He's a designer, an instructor, a consultant, a teacher. Like, he does everything. And I have to take my hat off to him, especially because he is a black man coming from a low-income environment. So, support to that. And lastly, I would say Anna Wintour, who's actually his colleague. She's the longest standing editor-in-chief at Vogue. I want to say she's either in her late 50s or early 60s. So for her to still be doing that stressful of a job and be doing that great of a job at it, at that age, amazing. So yes, all of these people I just named, I rewatched their interviews and their podcasts for hours at a time.
Nice.
Yes.
Those are definitely some inspirational people. I'm familiar with some of them. Definitely Andre Leon Talley. Mainly from America's Next Top Model.
Yes.
But I did do some more of my research, and he's coined the phrase "dreckitude," so I'm definitely here for that. Do you consider yourself to be a creative or an intellectual, assuming that we're going to go on the theory of most people being highly polarized to either side?
I would have to say a creative.
Okay.
I like to think that I have a brain, you know, to a certain extent, but I'm certainly more of a creative person. I've always been very artistic. You know, I used to love to sing and draw and songwrite and do fashion illustration and whatever. So I feel like my heart is just in the arts. Like, I just love creativity, being able to be open-minded. I don't like, you know, like closed endings to things. So I would have to say I definitely lean more to being a creative. Although I have a little bit of intellectual in me.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a dream chaser or realist?
I feel like I would have to say I'm a dream chaser, but I have a little bit of a twist to being a dream chaser. I'm a dream chaser with a plan.
Okay.
I don't believe in, you know, just wildly going after things. I feel like you have to strategically execute things.
Absolutely.
So that would be a little bit more on the realist side, but I'm not someone who's just like, oh, you're never going to be an actor, so become a nurse. You know, I'm not one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely feel like I'm more of a dream chaser, just with a plan. Know how you're going to execute your goal.
Absolutely. I can attest to that as well.
Yes.
In your recent My Time magazine interview, the PR industry's proclaimed Supergirl gets real. You alluded to someone in your life who you named Superman when they essentially asked you if you could have 3 wishes granted, what would they be? I thought that was very interesting. Let me read that exact quote, okay?
Okay.
My Superman would open his eyes. He would realize that even though there's no K or S on his chest, that he still makes even Supergirl feel like Lois Lane. A lot of people, including myself, thought that was very deep. It was definitely moving. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, basically, the Superman who I was referring to, I won't give out his real government name, but he's a man who just has stood the test of time. Like, when I say this man is just amazing to me, floored, like, I had to nominate him for Man of the Year with this other organization, and hopefully, you know, he'll get it. But in the essay that I was writing, the essay portion, it was something like 21 years built a man of steel, not Clark Kent, but a real life, breathing human who was able to withstand XYZ. Like, I was really, really deep about it because I'm very passionate about this individual. Mm-hmm. And even though, you know, we're not in a relationship or anything, like, he's aware of how I feel about him, but now's not the time for us to, you know, go further beyond being friends. Mm-hmm. But just, he will never cease to amaze me because of so many obstacles in his life. I'm literally saying anything that you think could happen in your life that would be traumatic or a setback, he has been through it, and he is younger than me. He's a little bit younger than me. So yes, he is definitely Superman in my eyes. Absolutely. And for someone to just impress me like that, it's rare, but he definitely does do so.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. I admire resilience. That's one of the traits that I really think is amazing. Like, if that resilience, like, you could go anywhere if you have that.
Yes.
Now, would you say you're someone who would rather have loved and lost or not have loved at all?
I definitely would rather have loved and lost than never have loved at all, because I'm a very, like I say, very artsy, creative person, very emotive. You know, I'm very reactive. So I feel like once I've loved and lost, even though it's very hard for me to go through heartbreak, it's a little bit of a renaissance period that comes from that. Pretty much every time I go through a heartbreak or a trauma or some type of setback, the comeback is twice as strong. So I would rather have a small setback for a strong comeback than never have anything at all.
Absolutely. Is it difficult for such an assumingly strong woman, i.e. Supergirl, to show such vulnerability, to talk to me right now, to show the people aside of you that they've never really got the chance to delve into? How hard is that?
It's difficult to the extent of I'm not used to the public seeing me, like I say, besides my business persona, So it's difficult in that sense. I mean, they can read my books, they can, read about me, but they can't see me talk about personal experiences. So it is a little bit difficult in that aspect, but you're very easy to talk to, and it is a controlled environment to a certain extent. So it's not like I'm just out in the open, just completely bare, defenseless. Like it's good.
You're easy to interview. I mean, there have been instances where I felt like I was pulling teeth, and I don't feel like that now, so that's great.
Okay, thank you.
I do have some questions for you, some more questions.
Okay.
So me, I am a self-proclaimed self-care healing junkie.
Yes.
Yoga, I gotta meditate, I need incense, okay? And I'm huge on journaling. So one thing I like to do is write myself a letter each night in my journal, and I like to start with Dear Self. So I like you to repeat after me and then just keep it going. So, Dear Self.
Dear self, I think that you are an awesome girl. You shouldn't allow certain factors to stress you out or just get you out of your normal headspace. You should continue to be strong for the people who depend on you, for your followers, for your participants. You should not get caught up in, what is the word I'm looking for? Not get caught up in self-doubt. And I would probably sign it love self.
Yeah, that's how I sign mine too.
Yes.
Now, what do you think sets you apart from other PR professionals, both in Chicago and just in the business? What's your je ne sais quoi? What's your niche?
Okay. For Chicago, I would say that I'm one of few publicists my age for Chicago. I notice a lot of people, or self-employed publicists, freelance publicists, my age, because most publicists I meet in Chicago or are easily, 30 and up if they have their own business. So I feel like that's one thing that sets me apart. And by me being younger, in my early 20s, I feel like I have a much different perspective on things. I have a younger, fresher, hipper perspective on things. And I'm also a creative, like I say, more of a creative. And most publicists tend to be, for some reason, more leaning towards intellectual. They think about numbers, how much is this going to circulate, what is going to be the return on investment in terms of traffic.
The analytics of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
the analytics. And it's like, even though I can relate to that because I do those things too, I focus more on the artistic composition. And just in general, I would say, I feel like not a lot of publicists do nonprofit work. And I do a lot of nonprofit work for the Fresh Faces Project because PR is just one of those industries where it's like you have to get in where you fit in. So most people don't have the time to do nonprofit work. So I feel like that's probably what sets me apart.
If there was anything you could change or enhance about the public relations industry as a whole, what would it be?
What would it be? I would say that I would definitely make things more accessible to those who don't necessarily want to get a 4-year degree. I feel like it's very hard to break into PR in a corporate setting, not necessarily freelance, but in a corporate setting, it's very hard to break into PR without a 4-year degree. I'm someone who doesn't have a 4-year degree. I have a dual major 2-year degree and 4 certifications. But after I graduated that, I said I didn't want to go back to school at least for a while. I just wanted to work. And I feel like so many
That on a spiritual level.
Yes, and I feel like so many corporate offices don't take that serious when it comes to office employee PR. So I wish that would definitely change because there are so many great minds who are artistic enough, yet intellectual enough to do great PR even though they don't have a 4-year degree.
Now, is there anything else we would like to tell the people about Calynn M Lawrence today? Any closing remarks? Anything extra?
Yes, I would love to give a shout out to my parents, my mother Dom, my father Tori, my family, my 2 sisters, Candace and Cameron, all of my play sisters, so T. Lee, Ari, Nikki, Michaela, Skittles, you, Mark McGeezy, shout out to you, King Versace, and shout out Superman actually, because even though I'm not sure if I'm going to show him this interview, just to be able to say, shout out to him because he has inspired me, like I say, just from an observant level, on a friendship level, he has inspired me in various ways. And I think that his example and his artistic influence over me has been very well. So shout out to him as well, and shout out to all of my supporters, partners, followers, friends, loved ones, associates, all of you guys. So yes.
All right, Calynn, I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me. Thank you for your candor. Thank you for your honesty. I look forward to seeing what you and the Fresh Faces Project has in store. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Once again, I am Shada Cook. I'm a multimedia journalist. You can find me online at Shada, S-H-A-D-A _ said _ so. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Night.
Me back in style.